A big day in South Florida sports, a big day for our friend Israel Gutierrez as me and Taylor, as Knicks fans, sit back and watch what the rest of the NBA is doing to catch up with the world champion New York Knicks. Taylor, how you feeling today? You're enjoying watching the other team scramble to play catch-up with us? It's nice, right?
When you said there was a big story, I thought you meant Mo Diawara coming back to the Knicks. Big deal getting him back. Was a restricted free agent. Really need that depth piece.
Yes. Wyndham Clark, two-time U.S. Open champion, going to join us in about 15 minutes. Very much looking forward to that. I am all over this World Cup. I had Portugal. They win 5-0. I had a minus 2.5 goals, and I had Ronaldo to score an anytime goal. How about that?
You are on fire.
And now I'm heavy on Harry Kane in the next match.
Harry Kane.
God, I love soccer. Izzy, this is a big day. You wanted Giannis. You got Giannis. I can't believe I woke up this morning and Giannis chose, Milwaukee chose Miami's package of players, of stuff, as opposed to what Boston was offering. The other thing that amazed me about all of this is Boston, as they are presently put together, are the favorites to make it out of the Eastern Conference on all the sports books right now. But Izzy, your thoughts on Giannis, now a member of the Miami Heat?
Oh, man, what a time, Stu. You know what I kind of knew about? It was yesterday. It says here 21 hours ago, so figure out whatever that time that was, where Giannis put out a post on Instagram where he said, God, I trusted you at the beginning, and I will continue to trust you throughout, and it's prayer hands and the 100 emoji. And to me, that felt like a Heat message.
Nice of him to say that to Jaylen Brunson. I mean,
to me, I don't think he's putting that out there if he's got to go spend all his winters in Boston for the next 5 or 6 years. And so I was like, you know what, this feels like a Miami Heat announcement coming up. But it is interesting, Stu, to watch and listen to all the reactions. I'm glad we had a little time to sort of soak it all in, because it feels like people are just dismissing what kind of move this is. Mm-hmm. Because let me just say this. This is the second most accomplished player that the Miami Heat have acquired.
Right.
Other than Shaq. That means more than LeBron James. You remember LeBron James came here with a couple MVPs, but no championships.
Yes, Giannis comes here with, I think, two MVPs and a title.
And a title and a depoy. And when you talk about accomplished players, like, he knows how to win. And so, you pair him with anybody that's an all-star, but with Bam Adebayo, you're talking about a guy in Giannis who the last 3 years has averaged 30 points a game, and those weren't his MVP seasons.
Correct.
Okay? So the idea that people are just poo-pooing or dismissing Giannis as, in addition to that's going to make them a decent team. No, they're going to be a great regular season team. Mm-hmm. We haven't even seen what the roster looks like. If we think that Pat Riley is sitting there saying, hey, I got this whale, we're done with transactions
He's
now.
just getting started, right?
Of course he is.
Yes.
You know he's got LeBron on the phone. You know he's got other people discussing, hey, do you want to come over here? Klay Thompson, a 4-time champion, is all of a sudden somebody that you think of when you need spacers and shooters. So, yes, the Giannis acquisition is absolutely huge. And in terms of what Miami can do next year, when you say, hey, are they contenders next year? Mm-hmm. First of all, Stu, when you make these types of moves, you tell me the first one. The first one that comes to mind, because there really only is one, where this type of move is made and the championship was won the very next year.
I mean, it felt like that when they landed LeBron. They didn't win it the next year. It took them 2 years to win that first title. They won back-to-back and then lost in his fourth season. Moses Malone?
Kevin Garnett.
Okay.
Kevin Garnett said that. So almost 20 years ago, right? And that was one of those where it was Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, sort of a perfect fit, with Doc Rivers there. Mm-hmm. But I don't expect the Miami Heat to win a championship next year, because that's just not the way these things happen. But will they be contenders? Absolutely. What's up, Taylor?
And Izzy, I think the Knicks kind of proved it this year, where in that Eastern Conference, if you just get a team that you feel pretty confident about, and then they find something once the playoff starts and they can kind of go on their run, like there's no really overwhelming team in the East, even with the Knicks bringing back their starting five. You're looking at the East, it's the Cavaliers, it's the Pistons, it's the Celtics. The Celtics still have moves to make. Like, I do think to play devil's advocate for a bit, because I am part of the group. I'm going to put my hand up and say I'm part of the group that's poo-pooing this a little, saying I'm not sure this is really the needle mover that some people are saying it is. But I do think the Eastern Conference is there for the taking, and starting a team building through Giannis and Bam Adebayo is about as good a duo as you could get in this modern NBA.
Yeah, because people are doing the thing where you're just like, well, look who we had around him in Milwaukee and what could he do, after 2021. And it's just like, it's a whole different animal. You're talking about a different franchise. You're talking about different coaches. You're talking about different approaches to everything. And please, I don't want to hear from the folks who are saying Giannis has another year or two good years left in him. Stop it.
Right.
We are existing in an era where age is no longer a limitation the way it used to be. Okay. And so if you look at his history of games played, he's played a good percentage of his games throughout up until last year.
Right.
So to just assume he's going to fall off, and what does that look like? Maybe he's only averaged 25 and 10. To assume to fall off at age 31, 32 is a ridiculous conversation. And if your team, whoever I'm talking to here, your team would have gotten him, you wouldn't be saying these things about Giannis.
No.
I think the most underrated aspect in this, and if I were looking at it from a glass half full Heat perspective, Spo to me is the best coach in the NBA. And if you give Spo the pieces that are maybe a questionable fit with the spacing that comes with having Giannis and Bam kind of occupying the same space, I do trust that Spo is the best person to maximize the talent you have.
He maximized Jimmy Butler. I mean, people laughed at the notion that Jimmy Butler could be the best player on your team and that team would go to the NBA Finals. Spo did it twice with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so this is what makes it sort of laughable to me. So for those who are hyper-analyzing the Heat's chances immediately and saying, okay, this... Again, we don't know what the roster looks like. We don't know what Giannis is going to look like. We don't know what this defense is going to look like because let's just say Andrew Wiggins does come back. You're talking about a front court of Wiggins, Bam, and Giannis, all three of them any given year. First-team NBA all-defense type of players. Like, you could be in a situation where you have the most dominant defense in the league, and maybe you're not worried that much about three-point shooting. I will say, obviously, if we're just going to analyze next year's roster, yes, they do need somebody that can create off the dribble a little bit more, because if there is a close game and you've got Giannis as your main creator, there are ways to work around that as a defense or to get around that as a defense. So they probably need somebody else. But again, you don't need a superstar. You don't need a multiple-time All-Star. You just need somebody to create, somebody like a Chris Middleton did with Giannis back a few years ago.
If there is a duo to kind of figure this out and piece it together, I trust the duo of Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley. They have done this before. They know what they're doing. Riley is as good as anyone, and Spo is the best coach in the NBA. And I woke up this morning, I got to tell you, Izzy, because Pat Riley, and I will forever be grateful for what he did for the New York Knicks, but then he came down here. And he took over the Heat, and he made them relevant instantly. And I have learned to love Pat Riley over my years down here because he's been so good to me, so good to our show, and so good for the market in general that I felt good for Pat Riley because so many people, including Heat fans, questioned Riley, wanted him out, wanted him to retire, said he lost his touch, and Riley gets Giannis today. And he gets him, and the Celtics don't. Which makes it even better for Heat fans and for Pat Riley.
And the Celtics now have to deal with probably an upset Jaylen Brown, right? That locker room is probably not going to be as harmonious as it was in the past.
Right.
So, yeah, I think Pat Riley's pretty happy. I think it's great for Pat because, man, I did not want to sit here and see him have to put together some potpourri plate of players if he didn't get Giannis and be like, hey, this is what I'm going with here.
Yep.
In the meantime, now, what is more likely? Obviously, he didn't strike out. He caught his whale, and now there's the possibility of, according to Barry Jackson, you can't rule it out, LeBron James coming back home and taking that key that was left under the mat. So now, all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, Pat Riley washed. Today, Pat Riley can do anything.
Yes, that's Dwayne Wade's key, though, right? I mean,
just put a little piece of tape over it. Put LBJ right there. Nobody's going to know the difference.
We're coming off a finals appearance with the Knicks where I granted Stugotz his Knicks fandom card back after he took off 20 years. And I said,
Riley,
and he came to me before the finals and he said, Taylor, I really like to be aboard this Knicks bandwagon for the finals. I didn't know Luke Cornett was a Knick and now he's a Spur. But I said, Stu, because you came to me so graciously, here's your Knick fandom card back. I put it right in his wallet between all those $100 bills.
Very nice. Yeah.
And now I hear him waxing poetically to Pat Riley with this soliloquy of a love letter.
Supposed to be the rat.
Listen, man,
I'm going right back in that studio and taking that Knicks card back.
Go ahead. There's a lot more hundreds in here because I'm dominating soccer gambling. I mean, But you can have it back. I love Riley. What do you want from me? I mean, that man left L.A. and he came to coach the New York Knicks and made us relevant for a decade.
You can keep the card. Can I have some of those hundreds?
I do think the Jaylen Brown piece of this happens to be the most interesting part of it. We'll see what happens. The draft is tonight. Will he get traded? Will he stay? But I do find it funny, Izzy, that they are the favorites to come out of the East. I know Jaylen Brown is upset. I know he wants to be a number one. He fancies himself as a number one. But what do you think the Celtics do now here with Jaylen Brown? They could re-sign him. 2-year max deal, $140+ million if they wanted to. I suspect Jaylen doesn't want that, though.
You know, once you've made that decision that your core or whatever you got going right now isn't good enough, it feels like you have to continue to follow through with that. Mm-hmm. And it seems like they've made that decision, right? Because they were in on the Giannis stuff. They saw what happened at the end of that first round, in the playoffs. And it feels like, hey, if I'm going to keep up with the Knicks, and in this case, if I'm going to make sure that the Heat stay beneath me, then I've got to do something to improve. And it feels like that has to be the move at this point, right?
Yes.
Because unless you just change course entirely and say, okay, we'll trade Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown will be happy, that's not the reason to make that trade, right? You're going to trade away the guy that you think is less valuable to you. And people have that debate. Like, some people think Jaylen Brown is the better player of the two. He did win the Finals MVP and has been there for huge moments as well. So I think they have to move him, Stu. Like, I don't think you can stay with somebody as vocal and just, stands up for himself the way Jaylen Brown does.
Yes.
I just don't think it's going to work well if he is unhappy. Now, he could come back and shock all of us and say, no, I'm good. Everybody's got, it's Giannis. He's won MVPs. I haven't. I'm okay being involved in that trade talk, and then everything's harmonious again. But I doubt it.
What Milwaukee told you was they don't think Jaylen Brown is capable of being a number one guy who could take a team to an NBA championship. Right?
And in theory, or at least according to some reports, that is what the Milwaukee Bucks thought as well. Hey, if we get Jaylen Brown, is he going to get us a championship like Giannis? Probably not.
Right.
Is he going to be a disgruntled star when his contract is expiring? That's even more likely than the other. So let's not go with the big name. Let's go with all the assets and see if we can rebuild that way.
Mm-hmm. Izzy, what do you think is the better duo entering next season, Bam Adebayo and Giannis, or Jason Tatum and Hugo Gonzalez?
By the way, Taylor said earlier on the podcast that Hugo Gonzalez better turn into something close to Bob Cousy.
I mean,
if that's what kept them from getting Giannis, he needs to be Bob Cousy.
He's got to be better than Cousy. He's got to be Havlicek.
They also mentioned Baylor Shireman's name in the report, and I'm looking at him like, what is the best case scenario for Baylor Shireman's career? He ends up being like the 7th or 8th best guy on a championship team. Even that seems like it's a bit of a stretch.
Yes.
So this is from Bill Simmons' podcast, which Taylor texted me yesterday. He said, I'm just going to say, I would be absolutely shocked if Hugo is thrown into any Giannis trade offer. The entire organization is all in on him. Stevens probably the most. They could not be higher on him. I genuinely don't believe he's involved. I guess we'll see. Well, we'll see. He wasn't involved because they didn't get him. Hugo Gonzalez's stats for last year, 3.9 points, 3.3 rebounds, 0.5 assists. Granted, he's only 20 years old, but I don't think he's the reason you stay away from Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying the Celtics couldn't be higher on him. If I know a way you could be higher on him, playing him more than 19 minutes in that series against the 76ers that went 7 games.
Yes,
Total
I'm coming around.
minutes.
By the way, when his career is over, his jersey better be hanging right next to Bob Cousy's. Otherwise, this wasn't worth it. He had a chance to get Giannis and match him up with Jason Tatum.
Oh, my goodness. The amount of minutes Hugo Gonzalez is going to get next year. It is
What,
so
just
funny.
to prove to everyone how good he is?
Yes. Brad Stevens, it's like an edict on the organization. Hey, 40 minutes a game for this guy.
But you expect Jaylen Brown to not be a Celtic by the end of tonight or tomorrow, right?
I feel like, the timing on these things are so many different rules. I feel like at some point, yes, something will be agreed upon for him to go elsewhere. I think it's intriguing, right? So we're past the Giannis stuff. Now what's going to happen? What are the domino effects from that? And that has to be the largest one. If Jaylen Brown finds a way to, your scariest team, Atlanta, is that a team that all of a sudden is a top 2 or 3 team in the Eastern Conference? It really just does depend on your opinion on Jaylen Brown. I don't think he is that type of player where if he's your number 2, you are automatically a championship contender. I think it's a lot depends on style, depends on what kind of season he has individually. But it doesn't quite move the needle quite like Giannis, but I think if Jaylen lands on the right team, I think we're looking at it like, okay, he ended up in a really good place.
Izzy, from the Celtics perspective, though, now the tables have kind of turned on them where you're not going to be getting a superstar back for Jaylen Brown, right?
That's exactly right. Like, so they were involved, according to reports, and it was a obvious superstar for superstar trade. Now you immediately turn into the team that's trying to unload a superstar, and you're never going to get something great in return. And so, especially if you're doing it in a pressurized situation, because he's unhappy and because you failed on your first attempt, you're not going to get the type of value you're expecting.
Tom Haberstroh was on the podcast, Stugotz and Company, earlier, the show before the show, and he said Houston is poised to make a run at Jaylen Brown because they have the assets.
Yeah.
Maybe Durant.
I've been huge on the Rockets moving off of Alperen Şengün, and I know a lot of people are going to say, what are you, crazy, baby Joker, whatever. He slows them down a lot.
Right.
I just don't think he's the great pairing for what they're doing. And so if you're saying, hey, I'm going to switch a little bit of my approach and bring in Jaylen Brown and give up on, an all-star big man in Alperen Şengün and send him to Boston, that's the move I'd be in on, because I think both teams can deal with what they're getting there.
Don't you think there's a part of Jaylen Brown, he might say to himself after talking to Brad Stevens, and this is part of the job, he knows it's a business, Jaylen Brown does, and they've tried to trade him twice now, and it's been public, and both times the teams ended up not doing the deal. It was, I think it was Durant the first time around with Jaylen Brown. If you're Jaylen Brown, can't you kind of sit there and say, hey, 2 years, get a max deal, $70+ million per season, and yes, I'm a number 2 to Jason Tatum, 1A, 1B, however you want to phrase it, right? But here I have the best chance for the next 2 seasons of winning a championship. We're the favorites, even with all these moves. Me staying put still has us as the favorites to come out of the East next year. Don't you think they could change his mind, or he could change his own mind?
I think he can. I think it's just a matter of, hey, you guys are the ones who are supposed to value me the most. You're the ones who are supposed to respect me the most.
And you're trying to trade.
And you're trying to move me. So, hey, I'm going to go ahead and trust that this other team that wants me is going to treat me like a wanted part of their organization and not some appendage who might actually help, and maybe he won't. He could win MVP, but he also could take us down in the first round. I think that would make it, a more difficult situation for him to stay, and knowing that all these folks around him have these, mixed thoughts about him, I think that weighs on players.
Wyndham Clark, 2-time U.S. Open champion, going to join us coming up in a couple of minutes here. It's such a big day in South Florida that Bordat Ricardo was inspired to write a song, to sing a song about the Heat acquiring the Greek Freak. Let's hear it.
On your mark, Ryle said, let's go. Front office pro, Pat knows, the Greeks got flow with the Godfather grit. He just can't quit, gotta get Greeky with it. That's it, now Greeky Freaky come slide in the 305, stick it 2 and wide. You with the Godfather, bag with all the moves in it. Dump the rock to your friend or spin. Everybody looking at you making a bid, wishing they was getting a kid. He with this freaky kid, 6'11", he's from Greece. I don't mind it, plus Giannis, I don't like it. Shutting down the club when we roll into town. Give it up, Greeky, make us feel fine, nose bound. Our greatness is infinite. We're Giannis all in it. We're getting Greeky with it.
Greeky.
Special.
Some tzatziki.
Getting Greeky with it.
A little bit more. Hold on.
Getting Greeky with it.
Greeky with it.
Getting Greeky with it.
I'm definitely going to have Yitos for dinner tonight.
That song was almost too good and too professional.
If you would have told me that was Will Smith today, I would believe you for about 30 seconds. Sounds kind of like him. The excitement of the FIFA World Cup is now streaming live on Fox One, the official English streaming platform to catch every unforgettable moment. Fox One brings the action straight to your screen so you never miss a goal. Download Fox One and experience the FIFA World Cup live. Don't miss Team USA's third game of the group stage this Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Man, that's late. 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox. It's USA versus Turkey live from Los Angeles.
The game doesn't really count. I mean, we've advanced out of the group stage because we're a world power when it comes to soccer.
But I'll be glued. Right. I'll be glued to the screen.
You know what I've noticed? The fan bases have been ridiculous. Norway, Scotland, the United States, because we've never been here.
Yeah.
2-0, already out of the group stage, debating whether or not we should rest our starters for a 10 o'clock start in the third game of the group stage. We don't know how to act.
None.
We don't
No
have
clue.
celebrations. We don't have cheers. We're terrible at this.
It's been kind of my favorite thing so far about the World Cup is recognizing some of the traditions that these countries have. Like you have the Norway one where they're, and you guys tell me what you think about this. I don't know if I love it, but it is something where they do like rowing, right? Where they're all rowing in unison. And then the Norway team like will sit in a group after a match and row with the fans. I'm like, what is it about rowing that creates this patriotism amongst you? I don't really understand it, but it kind of looks cool.
When it comes to USA Soccer, there has never been a wider gap in terms of the quality of the players versus the quality of the chants.
Right.
The chants for the USA are pathetically bad. Like when I hear them doing the I believe that we will win chant where it's just no, it's terrible.
It's awful.
It makes me want to puke every time they do that.
How do you even cheer that? I believe we will win.
I believe that we will win.
That's awful.
I believe that we will win. No, I say that's okay
Terrible.
compared to the ones you're about to offer, Taylor, because I actually bought a shirt that says I believe that we will win, and I was like, you know what? I feel good about this. But all these other ones this year, I do not feel good about.
I'll believe it when I see it. Taylor, you have cheers, actually? I mean...
Yeah, so... The other one that I absolutely hate is the one where it's like, we love you, we love you, we love you, and wherever you go, we'll follow, because we support the U.S., the U.S.,
Right.
the U.S., and that's the way we like it, we like
That's
it,
so
we like
bad.
it. Oh,
Listen,
terrible.
we're not up to speed with the play of our team, okay? No one was expecting this, so give the fans a minute here. I mean, come on.
So I think the fans are starting to slowly catch up because they're now getting more creativity, and you just have to look to the English leagues and see how the England fans are doing it, because Folarin Balogun, the striker with birthright citizenship from England, I saw this chant going around on social media where it's the song where it's like, Waka Waka, Balogun, he scores again. We stole him from England. And then it's like, once you hear those, it's like, okay, we're getting somewhere now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was not bad. Although I don't want to like brag about stealing another country's player if we're trying to be the best soccer team in the world, but it is what it is. That one is not terrible. The one that you mentioned before that was the one that was getting mocked internationally coming into the tournament, and we've had plenty of time. I mean, this is the country of freestyle rappers.
Yes.
Like, how do we not have anybody that can just do a cool chant about Team USA?
Yep. It took Bordot Ricardo a minute to come up with a Giannis
Seriously.
rap. I mean, jeez.
The other player who I want to pitch this as his official song and his official chant, Serginho Dest. He is great for this U.S. team. He's one of the key players going forward. I want to channel some Joe Esposito.
Espo.
You're the Dest around. Nothing's ever gonna slow him
That's
down.
so easy
You're the
right
Dest
there.
around.
You get that singing in unison? That's USA right there.
Is that the song from the All Valley Championships in the Karate Kid? I believe it is, yes.
It's very specifically from the All Valley Championships in the Karate Kid. Stu, have you seen what's going on? This is a tradition gone wrong now, it feels like, with Japan. Have you seen what's going on over there?
No idea.
So, Taylor, I'm sure you've seen this, right? The Japanese fans, and I think even some of the team members, like, they clean up. They literally they grab a garbage bag and they start cleaning up after the matches.
Right.
And everybody's like, wow, look at these Japanese. They're so respectful. They're so, great. They help out the staff from cleaning the stadiums. Well, apparently, the women in Japan are getting upset because they're saying, wait a second, do it when the world's not watching. You're cleaning up over there in these stadiums where our house back home is a mess. And it is hilarious watching that go down.
Do it at home.
Do it at home, baby.
Do it
That's
in my
exactly
house.
what they're saying. They hire people to clean those stadiums. You just come home and need to do this for free at home.
This is the first time he's attempted to clean anything.
The tidying up the stadium after it's a very look at me
It's
move.
very much look at me.
People get paid to clean up the stadium. You're taking away jobs.
We'll talk about it with Chris Whittingham, our friend, the fancy young lad, next.